yeah, we just wanted to be like, me and Ozzy were just like, we want to ride, we want to be professional. And we threw the comp side of it away.
Yeah.
I and sometimes I regret that and not regret it.
So
at the
you
same
did
time.
compete for a long time. At what
Yeah.
point did it, like, how did it work out then? You competed for ages and then it blew up, or you did it alongside?
Oh no, we started on comps. We started on 20-inch bike trials, and then we both were like the you know, British team for that. Went out and competed internationally, and then we basically just went along to a mountain bike event and just were like, oh, everyone here's shit. Like, everyone at trials was rubbish. They were like literally rubbish. We're like, oh, okay, we'll do that then. And we went and we started doing it, and everyone else continued to be shit. And we were like better just because we'd been doing proper bike trials. You know, it was like really hard. And we were shit at that compared to the best guys. We were not the best guys. And then mountain bike trials kicked off sort of in the trials world as well. And then it really suited us style. And I won a world championship just as I got onto Volvo. And then it was just luck, man. It all just, the cards.
Oh, it's luck.
No, I mean, timing, you know, lucky timing, you know, it all just clicked together. But then I'd had some results to back it up. Horsey was riding really well as well. He hadn't necessarily got the same results, but he was very, very good. And we just went, well, you're not going to be famous in mountain biking with results. Like, nobody cares. And I had the results to go, oh, well, we've got them then. Let's fuck it, whatever. We've got a British titles and world title of sorts. Yeah. Because there's a lot, the trials is weird. There's a few different world titles. But I could say I was a world champion. Yep. So we were just like, that's that done. Let's do what the downhillers are doing, because they're doing well and it looks amazing fun. So what and we was just threw the comp stuff away. We still kept going, but in trials we were just like the guys who turn up and go, they do not give a fuck. Yeah. And we turn up and we get hammered, and I mean, I've got terrible stories. We were awful. Awful. If our sponsors had known at the time, we'd have got fired.
Really?
Yeah, we'd go to events and be like, I can't bother. Really? Yeah, just sit there in our fancy cars and have incredibly expensive bikes laid on the floor, and we'd be eating like, I don't know, ravioli out of a tin. Going, yeah, we couldn't be bothered. We got drunk last night. We're not doing it. It was stupid.
But what did it look like? What did it look like not doing that? So when you say we wanted to be famous or whatever, what did it look like not looking like that?
Well, I guess all the trials guys, like, the only thing we had to look at is, it was like, we stay in trials. I was riding really well in the comp scene. I was one of the better mountain bike riders, and I just saw, like, you know, there was a guy there who had 10 world titles, but wasn't sponsored, and you're well, what's it going to do for me? And my dream was always to be a professional motorcycle trials rider, and I was never going to be that, ever. I was nowhere near good enough. So when we come at mountain biking and saw professional mountain bikers, me and Ozzy were like, you know, twins, and we were just like, man, we could, you never know, it could work. And we worked really hard to try and make that happen. And there was a bit where it looked like it wouldn't, and then it all just, like I said, timing, weird lucky timing made it happen. We met Steve Bear at that first mountain bike event, and he was like, hey, can I take some pictures of you? And then you're in a magazine, and you're like, what? And then off it went. It's as silly as it sounds. It's as like unlikely as you could imagine. It really is. And it just was.
What was that early trial scene like? I don't know anything about it at all.
Which one? The like one we were in? Or
like what did you first see about bicycle trials? Or
well, I just love motorcycle trials, and I went to a motorbike event and saw someone doing it. It was like the best British guy at the time.
Right. What, like a demo?
Yeah, like a demo. And it was just like, oh my God, that guy's so good. Like, because I was, you know, I just couldn't believe how good he was. And the bike was amazing, and I was like, oh, I want a bit of that. I want to try.
What sort of bikes were they riding then?
Monty's, you know, that was the Monty, you know, Monty with a big fat tire at the back, and it just looked incredible. And I just wanted one of them because that looked a bit like my motorbike, but I could, you know, Dad couldn't say I'm not allowed to ride it because it's too noisy. So that's what I'll do when I'm not allowed to ride a motorbike. And it was mental, you know, it's just so. I just loved it. And then that just made mine and Martyn's level very high compared to what was going on at like mountain bike events and what they were calling trials.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because, actually, it's unfair to say they were shit, because they weren't shit. What they were mountain bikers, and back then mountain biking, you did everything. So they were really good cross-country riders, really decent downhill riders, and they had to do trials.
Yeah.
So it was just a bit they had to do, but they didn't have to be like bike trial level, you know, like BIU, Spanish Federation bike trial level. You know, they wouldn't even recognise how to get into the sections. You know, they were so hard, and still are. You know, you look at UCI trials now, it's you look at it and go, what? How is that impossible? And unless you're doing it, it isn't possible. So, yeah, they were just... We thought it was funny because we literally saw the sections at a mountain bike trial and we thought it was like for the kids. We were like, oh, they do trials for the kids. And then later on, like, the top pros are like lining up at the start of the section, getting all pumped up, and we were like, can I borrow your bike? We literally borrowed bikes off of spectators. And literally was like, can I literally borrow that Marin there? And he was like, yeah, what are you going to ride through that on it? I was like, yeah. Apparently they give you like a prize at the end. And we just, it was that as stupid as that.
Wow.
It's just weird timing, isn't it? And that was it. That was at Farnborough over at the MED ground.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's where we used to ride there on motorbike trials all the time. So like, how far is that from here? Not far at all.
No, not far at all, no.
Yeah.
Just down the road.
Like Caesar's Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's fun and BMX track. Used to be as well.
Although we used to call it something else. Didn't used to call it Caesar's Camp. For motorbike trials, they used to call it Slab Common or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the same place.
Yeah.
Weird. It's just sand.
Yeah.
It's just, and on motorbikes, it was on a motorbike it's shit, but on a motorbike that place is bricks. It's just like it's just flat out like a big banks. And
it's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I once talked to the army about jumping out of a Chinook. There.
That's a bad idea.
Such a bad idea.
You'd have to be really high.
Yeah, we found the landing and everything. We scoped it out, and then they realised the downforce from the. So we were right about.
And then Chinook as well, so double downforce.
Yeah,
you just power drive you into the floor.
Yeah, it would have just terminal velocity'd us into the. That was me and Sam Reynolds.
God, that's brilliant.
Wow. Did you enjoy this clip? If so, please like and subscribe. The full episode is available by hitting one of the links on the screen right now, or type the Ride Companion into your favourite podcast app. We've even put links in the show description for you. Cheers!